Hey, what's up you guys? It's Travis and today I'm going to tell you about my most recent surgery that I got, which was for my receding gum line. When I was younger, I feel like dentists told me that once your gums start receding, then there's nothing you can do for that. That's not the case now. What they can do is do a gum graft surgery where they remove a graft from the roof of your mouth and then they place it wherever your gums are receding. My gums were receding on the upper part of my mouth. And I wanted to do this video because when I got this surgery done, I thought that it was going to be no big deal. I didn't really look up the surgery beforehand because I just felt like it wasn't going to be a very big process. It ended up being a very big process, and I also looked on YouTube to see what other people's experiences were like, and I didn't see a lot of other experiences out there. So I wanted to do a video that was very straightforward and to the point about what it's really like getting a gum graft surgery. I don't want to make anyone afraid, I just want to make you woke. I want to make you woke so you are prepared for the surgery if this is something that you have to do sometime in the future. This is my experience of getting a gum graft surgery. So without further ado, let's begin. Now before I get into my story, I do want to give a quick shout out to this video's sponsor, which is Bryant. This is something that is essentially a doctor robot where you share your symptoms of whatever's going on with you, and then the doctor robot gives you an idea of what could possibly be going on and whether or not you should possibly see a doctor. Specifically for this video, because I'm mentioning Bryant, they wanted to share their NAFLD screening, which basically that's for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Some things that can affect this are poor diet, being overweight. If you want to take advantage of Bryant's liver care screening, then you can just go to liver.care in your internet browser. That will direct you to Facebook, and then you'll be connected with their robot, which then can guide you through the whole screening process. So anyway, be sure to check them out. We're going to get into my story now, and thank you again to Bryant for being the sponsor of this video. So I've known that my gums were receding for a very long time. I've known because my nerves were exposed, so I was always sensitive on the side of my mouth. But then recently I went to a new dentist, my dentist at Floss in San Diego, Dr. Kian. It's an amazing office. It's worth the 2-hour drive from Los Angeles. When I first saw the doctor, he looked at my gums and he saw that my nerves were exposed on this side, and that's why they were sensitive. So he explained the procedure to me, and basically what they were going to do is remove a graft in the roof of my mouth and then put that beneath my gums and then stitch it up so that the graft took, but it didn't change anything, so my gums just look like they covered more of my tooth, but they don't look very different. They did say that the surgery itself, as a lot of people explain it, is something that feels like when you burn the roof of your mouth with a hot piece of pizza. So I had very low expectations for this surgery. I didn't think that it was going to be that big of a deal. So the day of the appointment, I drove myself from Los Angeles to San Diego, and when I got to the appointment, they gave me some numbing stuff. They gave me the shots, which of course were uncomfortable, but they weren't too much to deal with. It just feels like a pinch in your mouth. During the surgery itself, I really didn't feel hardly any pain at all. Also, the doctor and his team were super supportive in making me feel comfortable during the process, because being awake while having a graft removed from the roof of your mouth is a very, very strange experience. You see the cutting motion, there's a mirror in front of you so you can kind of see what's happening. I avoided looking at that the entire time because I'm not someone that can deal with that kind of stuff, especially when you're seeing your own self get cut into. No, that's not the look for me. In the process, the first thing that they do is they cut open, or they tunnel an opening of your gums throughout the teeth that they're going to be placing the graft. And then once there's an opening for the graft to go into, then he takes the graft out of the roof of your mouth. They have to do that quickly because there are a lot of arteries there, so there can be a lot more blood, so they want to get it closed as quickly as possible. So he takes out the graft and then puts that in the tunneled area and then stitches it back up, and that's the entire process. Once your graft is removed and placed beneath your gums and the wounds are stitched up, then the doctor puts a stent at the roof of your mouth. Now this is meant to protect your wounds obviously from your tongue and also from food, because obviously you need to eat after this process. When I left the doctor's office, I didn't feel anything. I felt uncomfortable, I felt a little bit nauseous, but I didn't feel any of the pain. Now the mistake that I made was driving myself back to Los Angeles during rush hour on a Friday afternoon. So as that numbing stuff wore off, then I had these fresh wounds without any pain meds, and it started hurting very badly. So what I would say after getting the surgery is to make sure that you go and get pain meds immediately, because it will hurt a lot the first day. It did not feel anything like burning my mouth with a piece of pizza. I don't know where anyone got that analogy from. It hurt like hell. Again, I don't mean to freak anyone out, but I do want you to have some level expectations, because if you think you're just gonna feel like you got a little burn from food, that is not the case. Also, I don't know if this is typical or not, but I was bleeding the entire time. So fortunately I had an entire box of Kleenex in my car, but I went through the entire box of Kleenex with blood as I was driving, because first of all, you can't spit because that can mess up or disrupt the graft. So biggest lesson of this video is make sure you have someone with you the day of the surgery, and make sure you go get your pain meds immediately after leaving the doctor's office. Because once I got my pain meds that night, I got some Percocet and I was flying on cloud 9. I was totally fine, and then I went to sleep and I woke up the next day and my face looked like this. Now the doctor didn't say very much about swelling because that's not a very typical reaction. Unfortunately, I swelled up a lot. My face became very, very fat. For a few days. It lasted about a full week. So when you're getting this procedure done, just be prepared that it's going to be like 7 to 10 days before you're functioning again. Some people say this was an easy experience, but for me, this was nothing like getting a cavity filled. This was like a full out surgery. I don't feel like I had prepared myself enough for that. Like I didn't prepare to take off time from work. I didn't prepare to be staying at home the entire time. So I cleared all of my plans because I just wanted to give myself some time to recover. It took about 2 weeks for me to be back to normal, where I was able to use my mouth and be able to chew again and take the stint out. At the end of the day, I'm glad that I had the procedure done, because obviously I wanted to take care of my receding gum line. There is a little bit of a chunkiness in my gums that I think I'm the only person that would notice, and I'll show you guys right now. But there's like a chunky area that they're going to have to cut down, which hopefully won't be too severe of a procedure, but I'm going next week for that. If you guys have any questions about what the procedure was like that I missed here in this video, then let me know down below, because I will definitely answer them, because my heart goes out to you if you have to go get your gum graft surgery. But again, I really do appreciate the doctor's office, because they were calling me the entire time. They were very concerned about me. They wanted to make sure that I was doing okay. So that felt really nice. So this just gives you some information to be prepared if and when this has to happen for you. And I guess that's all I have for right now. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.